Oh my gosh! How big these are!
I think you can. All right, guys, this is our first time unhooking, and thanks to our friends at Keep Your Daydream, we have been told to follow a checklist. So we're using the app Google Keep, very great for checklists. Wrote everything down, and tires unchalked, hooked up. The only thing we need to do right now is check the brake lights, and then we should be ready to go.
It's hot out.
How was it the first time packing?
Woo, sweaty. Almost forgot the camera. We're on our way to our second destination of our cross-country road trip, and we're driving from Zion National Park through Zion National Park to Bryce National Park. Now, Bryce is known for its hoodoos and its red rocks, and it's a place we've never experienced firsthand, so we are so excited. And we stopped along the way because we are completely surrounded 360 degrees by these magnificent red rocks in Zion National Park. It is absolutely breathtaking, and we just had to pull over and take in the beauty of Mother Nature. It's been a long day en route to Bryce Canyon. It was only supposed to be like an 1.5 to 2 hour drive. Hit some construction, didn't have a lot of cell service to get directions, and there's some campgrounds that are full. So, trying to find some national forest or BLM land within, or close to the park, I should say. So far, no luck, but...
It's been a 3 or 4 hour day, and the trailer is still hooked up, and we're still driving, so we're still trying to find a spot.
At least we could stop and use the bathroom whenever we wanted. I did twice. Then I got string cheese.
So here's a tip for you guys. Always count on not having internet service. So if you're going to use an app like Compendium or something else to research spots to camp, star those on your map before you get there, because as soon as we got to this area, we had no service.
Noobs.
Okay, pull forward just a little bit. All right, guys, not gonna lie, I was a little panicked because we've been driving on this forest road for the past probably a mile, for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Every single site was taken, but we finally found one. And look who backed it in. It was Coco herself, doing a great job.
This was my first time, but I had a great coach.
Good job.
Thank you.
Now it's time to make camp. We made it to our first boondocking experience. Found a spot pretty deep into this forest. Unfortunately, we had one little mishap. Bit of a bummer. We're not sure what to do about it yet, but if you look, there's a scratch.
Oh God, please, no! No!
That's right. We scratched the Bambi. Let's just say it was a little heartbreaking once we saw that. But we're gonna enjoy this time. I mean, no one is around here. It's just us. And we're gonna see how we do boondocking. Morning, everyone. It is the first time we've ever boondocked, and I think we'd have different opinions. I thought it was a success. We had some issues. We got a scratch on the Airstream, which is a big no-no. But yeah, it was a little different. I mean, we've been living in cities with all the noise, and we came out here and it's almost scary just how quiet it was. I think it'll take some time to get used to. But we're a little far out. This spot was not the best. I mean, driving on this dirt road took about, I think we're probably like a mile and a half back, and it's a little bit rough. I think it was probably too rough for the trailer. Live and learn, you know? But today we're actually gonna break down camp and go closer to Bryce, maybe camp in an RV park tonight. Take it a little bit easier. So today, it's not been the best day. Unfortunately, our shower, as we got it, is leaking all over the bathroom floor. Not just the door, it's coming out from underneath, potentially ruining the wood. So we have been sitting in this parking lot for the past 2-3 hours, trying to contact Airstream, support the dealer that we bought it from, and I think we finally made some progress. It's been a long, arduous process, but I think we're gonna get a mobile tech to come out and service our little baby. Because if not, we would have to drive at a minimum 4 hours to the closest service spot, and up to 7 hours, because we're basically not even close to any service center.
I don't even know what to say. It is the day I've been waiting for. We finally made it to Bryce Canyon, but we haven't seen anything yet because we're having problems with our brand new Airstream. Bought it brand new because we thought that would mitigate issues, but we were wrong. So luckily Airstream Roadside Assistance said they're going to be coming out to fix our shower. It's leaking all over the ground, which could damage the wood, the floor, and who else, and who knows what else is going on underneath that shower. So we are on pause for our adventures right now, but hopefully Roadside Assistance will be able to fix this. Otherwise, we have to drive to an Airstream service center, which is either in Salt Lake, Vegas, or Scottsdale. And all of those places are over 300 miles from where we are, and 300 miles out of the way from where we're going. So that would not be fun. But such is life on the road. And we will keep you updated on what Airstream Roadside Assistance says. And let's check out Scott trying to fix it in the meantime.
Guys, the good news is we aren't that smelly yet, so hopefully we don't get too bad before we can take showers again.
Let's test. Oh, I smell okay. Wait, are you making progress? This is exciting. For those of you that don't know, Scott is a master problem solver, and I'm a master planner. So together, we make the dream team. Hopefully he can get this panel off. It's quite complicated.
Okay. All right, guys. After about 4 or 5 hours of phone calls, troubleshooting, I've tried to take this panel off like 3 or 4 times before, could never get it off. Spoke to the guys, gave me a few tips, and once we got it off, we were able to realize that it wasn't actually coming from underneath the shower as it appeared, because initially the water was coming out just right here. It actually was coming from the door. So easy fix, bought some caulk, and hopefully once this dries, we'll be able to test it out and have a working shower. Now, after all those delays, we actually get to go enjoy Bryce, the whole reason we came here. All right, so we are, I don't know how far down the hike, but we are doing Queen's Garden hike. And when you first get to Bryce, you're gonna be overwhelmed by the view, and it is absolutely magical. But you're gonna wanna get down, around, inside the hoodoos like this.
Oh my gosh, how big these are. When you're up on the rim, you have no idea the enormity of these hoodoos. When you're down here, you feel this big, and it's a good feeling. Oh, wow.
All right, so we've made it to the halfway point of our hike, and now, unfortunately, it's up the whole way.
Yeah, they usually say it's all downhill from here, but it's all uphill from here.
Yeah. Let's get it.
The first time I saw a photo of Bryce Canyon, I just thought, where is this place and how can I get there? And I feel like there are just certain destinations in the world where you have an attraction to them and a pull to them, even though you've never been there. And that's what Bryce was. I had never seen a landscape that looked so otherworldly, and it just took my breath away. And it feels surreal to be surrounded by the hoodoos right now. We actually made it. I know that Zion is more popular, but Bryce is still part of the Big Five in Utah. And I think it's one of the most beautiful parks I've ever seen.
It definitely feels like 8,000 feet. This air is pretty thin while walking up this hike.
I thought you were gonna say I took your breath away. Come on, Scott.
Now the other thing, we got out the e-bikes again. No need to take the shuttles in this time. Nothing like riding bikes through a national park. Right, babe?
Right, babe.
Woo!
Look at that van.
All right, guys, I want to take a second and talk about some of the rookie mistakes that we've been making. I think number one, we have been moving way too fast. Our schedule has been too packed, even though we initially tried to go very, very slow. What do you think?
Yeah, it's way too fast because you have to constantly pack up, unpack, and that's just exhausting, and it takes away from the moment and the destination, and you just end up feeling like you're traveling constantly. It's too much.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a bit of an issue. The shower was leaking all over the place. I think we finally have that resolved. So that kind of slowed us down yesterday when we were in Bryce. We got a late exit, and then we got to our spot last night very, very late, exhausted, hungry. And I'll tell you what, that is a recipe for disaster when RVing. So today, we have good news. We're meeting with our friends, Ashley and Andrew and Ashley, and Kicker. And we're super excited. They're going to show us some not private, but they're going to show us some secret spots that they know because they're experts at all of this. All I want to do is be stationary for a while. We've been moving way too fast.